We're joined today by the most knowledgeable EV experts in the Netherlands, Mobility Service. We're joined by Alexander and Sebastian. Fantastic to see you today, guys. Can you give us a bit of background into what Mobility Service is all about, please?
Yeah, we can. Mobility Service is a car leasing company for business to business. Mobility has quite a history with electric cars. We started in 2008 by importing the first Think city to the Netherlands.
That's very early, I think.
Yeah, it's very early, very plasticky as well. And then in 2017 we started our website, zakelijkelektrischleasen.nl, which really helped us. And from then on, electric cars really took off for us. So, yeah, and I think it's fair to say that we are the most knowledgeable leasing company in the Netherlands.
So we've been doing it for quite a while. We actually still have the original Think City. It's still standing in our office at The Hague.
Well, Fully Charged has a global audience, and we're fascinated about what's going on with electric vehicles all across the world, whether it's in China or Norway or North America or at home in the UK. But I think the Dutch market is really heating up now. Can you tell us what's going on and why it's a good market for electric vehicles?
Yeah, well, the Dutch market's actually, I think, globally number 2 in EVs right now. It's about, I think, 20 to 25% of all new car sales are electric, and that is actually mostly thanks to, at the first place, financial subsidies. And other than that, they actually pushed it from 2 sides. So in the Netherlands, we have the most charging points in the world per capita. So it's very easy to charge your car anywhere. There's no road taxes for the electric cars. And of course, one of the biggest things is fuel is very, very expensive right now. And it's a lot cheaper to drive electric. Other than that, there's obviously the added benefits of it's more sustainable, less local carbon emissions. In general, it's becoming a very, very interesting choice.
Yeah, and what we also see is that once people have made the switch, people are starting really to be knowledgeable about what can I do to reduce my CO2 emissions, for example. A lot of people who have an electric car now are also thinking about solar panels to charge the car for like a couple of cents or even €0. So people are really getting into the into thinking about the environment more once they made the switch.
One of the biggest blanket statements is electric cars are very expensive. You will have heard that, but people don't always understand the total cost of ownership, the running costs and other benefits. What are you finding out from when your customers discover that?
Yeah, well, that's really a talking point for most people. What we see now is that electric vehicles are starting to get cheaper. So it's obviously for our company, which is we only lease cars business to business. So the monthly leasing price is coming down as well. Fuel is a factor in the monthly price, especially now. So the total cost of ownership really is really coming down now. The benefit of leasing a car is that you don't have to pay the full price up front. You only have to pay a monthly price, and that means for a lot of businesses, electric vehicles are available.
A lot of businesses that first want to make the transition to electric vehicles and don't have any experience with them yet also like the idea that within a lease they have no basically risk on the battery of the car. Even though you and I and probably Alex and all of you guys knows there's very little risk that anything will ever go wrong with the battery. There's a huge amount of guarantees on it. If you want to be 200% sure, you can always lease a car because we take the risk in that case. So it's another step to ease the step from petrol to electric by taking, in that case, a smaller risk, or let us take the risk.
And when it comes to the customer journey from getting interested in an electric car to getting in one and then owning one? What are you seeing? What's the typical journey that your customers are going through?
There's two groups of customers. There's people who already drive electric, and those people are only interested in a few things. It's how fast can the next one charge at the fast charger, and other than that, they want to drive it and let's go. Because most people that drive electric, I think the official statistics are about 75 to 80% chooses an electric car again and would never look back. If you're a first-time electric car driver, it's a bit more complex. Most people are very worried about the range, about how charging works, because it's a very different mindset to drive an electric car. And in our experience, the only way to tackle these questions, and the best way, and that to make it a bit more positive, is to just put someone in a car, give them to them for a weekend and let them try.
Yeah, so that's what we see. It's really a behavioral change for the person driving the car. If you're on the verge of maybe trying an electric car, just try it a couple of days. Don't drive it for 1 hour because you don't get the full experience. You don't know what charging is. You don't know what the impact is on your time. Just try it for a couple of days and you'll see that it's not as difficult as you think. Yeah.
So I know Mobility Service gives lots of great advice, but do you help people with charging as well? That's one of the big things that people need to understand and maybe get a home charger installed right from the word go.
Yeah, we do actually. So obviously we are a business-to-business leasing company, but we can also facilitate employers and employees at home with charging points. We don't install them ourselves. We have a company who does it for us. But yeah, we make sure that the whole experience is 100%. So somebody wants a charging point, we can facilitate a charging point. Yeah.
That's also the reason why we don't install it ourselves.
No.
This might be the vehicle I want, but it's not the one I can afford. So I'd be interested to know what vehicles you can provide. There's a huge choice now. Do you provide most of the electric vehicles that are out there?
Well, in theory, we supply all the electric vehicles that are out there. Just to name a few examples for the new cars coming this year, the Renault Megane E-Tech is already a very popular car. It's the new e-Niro, but also the smaller cars, so Peugeot E208, Corsas, but also the very popular, based on the same 800-volt technology as in the Porsche, the Ioniq 5, Kia EV6, anything goes.
So the electric car market is off and running, but we're seeing more and more interest in commercial vehicles like electric vans as well. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, it's actually very interesting because when the electric vans, like the serious ones, like the Peugeot e-Expert, the Toyota ProAce, it's all the same basis, were first introduced, we saw a lot of interest for the car, but a lot of people decided not to go for it because at that point, although the running costs are a bit lower, the price difference was too big. But we see a very renewed interest in it now because of the skyrocketing diesel prices. There's basically a run on the vehicles. Which is good because in the meanwhile more producers of electric vehicles have decided to make some serious electric vehicles. For example, Ford at the end of the year is coming with the e-Transit. It's a bit of a larger van for a bit more friendly price than for, say, example, the e-Ducato, which they dare to ask quite steep prices for, I may say. But it's becoming a mature market slowly, and right now it's already a cost viable solution due to the higher diesel prices and the large subsidies in the Netherlands.
Yeah, and what we also see is that companies have to comply with CO2 emission reductions, and by switching, for example, 10 diesel vans to electric vans, they all of a sudden do comply with those rules. So it's obviously a smart move for most companies now as well. And what we also see is that certain cities in the Netherlands will start banning diesel vans.
I think starting 2025 already, Amsterdam.
So if you want to do business within the city center, you have to have an electric vehicle. Yeah.
So if I want an electric car and I'm in the Netherlands, I should get in touch with the Mobility Service, obviously. But can I get cars from you from other parts of Europe as well?
You can now, yeah. We also started in Spain. We're located in Barcelona right now. What we did is we transferred our knowledge and our experience to Spain. A couple of Spanish guys came to us. We facilitated them with everything, with knowledge, with electric vehicles, and they are now with a couple of guys there, also facilitating the Spanish market now. Yeah.
Well, we're delighted to have Mobility Service as our headline sponsor for Fully Charged Live Europe at the RAI in Amsterdam very, very soon. Are you looking forward to coming along, and what are you hoping to see?
Yeah, we are. We're hoping to see obviously a lot of our own customers, because we will be inviting them as well. And a lot of our customers are really knowledgeable about electric cars, but they also are very interested in it. So that should be nice. But we are also very much looking forward to the panels, to the discussions, because it's always interesting. We always have those discussions with potential customers, so it should be nice to be there as well. And yeah, overall it should be a good experience. Yeah.
Really hope there's also some people that have a lot of questions about electric cars and just want to have some advice on the topic. They can of course come to us, to our stand, and we'll be very happy to help them.
There will be. There are lots of people who are electric vehicle drivers and lots of people who are looking to become electric vehicle drivers as well. So if my business is interested in getting an electric car or an electric van, and I'm not coming to Fully Charged Live Europe, how do I get in touch with Mobility Service?
You can get in touch with us over the phone, obviously. Our website is mobilityservice.nl. We also have a specific website for electric vehicles, which is zakelijkelektrischleasen.nl, which is a Dutch name, but you can search for it anyway. And obviously everyone is welcome at our own company in Eelde, which is near Groningen in the north of the Netherlands, or in The Hague. We also have we always have electric vehicles ready to try to test out, and you can also get advice from us.
Yeah, so even if you're in doubt, you can always contact us and we can see if it's a good fit for your situation. If we think it's not, we will also say it. So we will always try to give you an honest and good advice. Spoiler, it's very possible in most situations, but there are situations in which we say, no, maybe you should go for a plug-in, maybe you should go for a petrol vehicle for now, and just wait it out.
That's great. Thanks again, Alexander, Sebastian. Really good to talk to you today. Thank you for watching this special episode of Fully Charged Plus. If you're interested in coming to Fully Charged Live Europe, or if you would like to find out about Mobility Service, please check out the description notes below this episode. And if you have been, thank you for watching.